prison stories, man. These is lived experiences. Welcome back to the Swine Glow Podcast Show. Do Rock Creep. It's an absolute pleasure to be here at this round table amongst my round table family. Salute to all of y'all that was able to make the live, and most definitely salute to those of y'all that's able to catch the live a little bit later. Now, look, before I jump into what I'm gonna jump into, please allow me this opportunity to ask you all that may be new here at this round table. If you haven't already did it, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Swang Glow Podcast Show. It won't cost you a dime to hit the subscription button, man. You want to become part of this roundtable family? Just subscribe to the channel. And as we grow further into the algorithm on this journey, by becoming official members of this roundtable family, you go on that journey with us. You will not miss a beat on anything. You feel me? So again, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Swang Glow Podcast Show. Do Rock Creep. I would greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit the notification bell. So when we do these lives, or I just drop a random video, you'll be right there front and center. You won't miss a beat on anything. And I encourage participation in the chat. I ask of all of you that may be new or not familiar with how we do things over here, to please be respectful to the next man and woman. See, the people that's here, that's in this chat, the majority of them is my roundtable family. So they already know the business. And if by chance anybody jump in the chat, I ask my mods, man, snipe them, get them up out of here. We're not tolerating it because we know they there, we know they coming. You feel me? Which is the whole inspiration behind this video, behind this live. You feel me? So again, please be respectful of the next man and woman and roundtable family member. Salute to those of y'all in the chat. I will get to y'all after I address what I need to address. Y'all know how I do it. Salute to all my roundtable family, man. Love and appreciate you all for making it. Now look, we have seen to stricken a nerve, of quite a few people that are considered to be in bad standings with their community, meaning the guys that are able dropouts, right? Now, hey, we don't come to this platform to encourage anybody to be hurt or harmed, attacked, or none of that. We just come here for truth and stand on it. Point blank, period. And no matter the threats that's thrown my way, no matter the threats that's thrown at my roundtable family's way, the message will always be the message. The truth will always be the truth. And I understand that truth burned through a lot of y'all spirits like the sun does a vampire. However, the righteous will always prevail. Point blank, period. So these people, they are trying to throw us off track by, I've told y'all in the other video that I did, right, by jumping in the chat, putting a whole bunch of disrespectful, threatening messages in the chat, right? A lot of the threats definitely was directed at me, as far as them reporting my channel to the prison officials. And I was also, somebody got at me, right? And was basically telling me that this specific podcaster guy that did not take my video about him, although I never said his name, I actually made up a nickname for him, right? But I never said his name. So they wasn't able to take the video, although they went and flooded the chat with a whole bunch of just random racist and threatening messages, right? In which YouTube cut the message off and then ended the video. Now, but although the video is still up, now look, I want to make this clear to YouTube, right? In no way, shape, form, or fashion is this live targeting, bullying, harassing anybody. We encourage people to be better people. We come here to expose the truth about matters that actually mean something to a lot of the people that's out there, that whether they're within this certain lot of culture, as far as gang banging go, or we had a brother that had just got out of jail. He was I guess had a drug problem, and his case was still pending, right? So he tapped into the show. We talked to him, and was trying to encourage him, like, man, hey, no matter how it go, stand up and deal with it. But at the same time, you have to utilize these struggles that you're going through right now to your benefit. You have to turn it into a strength instead of it being your weakness, right? That's what we about here at this round table. We don't come from a place inspired by so much anger and hatred and bitterness, because they was once part of the same gang culture, some of the same structures and rules and guidelines that I and a whole bunch of other people are under, right? These people was the same people that was under these same rules and regulations, right? And for whatever reason, now up until the point of them getting xed out the game, right? They did what they had to do, and they lived up under that proudly. Proudly. They pressed the line on the next man if they felt that he wasn't living up to par, when it came to how you are supposed to carry yourself and conduct yourself under these certain rules, regulations, and guidelines. They was pressing the line even harder than me, right? So for whatever reason, they get xed out the game, and they do everything that they possibly can to try to bring down and destroy, burn down, torch, and destroy, right? What they once pushed so hard and aggressive for. This is their mission, and it's driven by hatred for something that they felt betrayed them. But the realization of it all is they betrayed everything that they took a pledge to always uphold. The same thing that they was pushing a hardcore line on the next man for, to make sure that they was pushing correctly. Right? Now it's a complete shift change in their ways of thinking, to the point where they want to bring whatever organization down that's attached to a person that isn't considered to be a dropout, or in bad standings with their community, or where they come from, or who they affiliated with. Right? This is a fact. All of them, and when you hear them talk and you see the angerness and bitterness and all stuff in their whole expression, in their whole demeanor, right, in their whole spirit, you see this anger. And here it is, a person like myself who's on the general population mainline yard for approach this internet space with humbleness, with truth, with respect for all. I would never have a word to say in the direction of no dropout or a PC ever if they wasn't jumping behind the camera, given the opportunities, these big, massive opportunities, to try to convince the public of a watered down version of what they trying to paint a narrative of what prison is or should be on a mainline yard. But the whole time they couldn't stick it out on the mainline yard. So again, they got X'd out the game ended up on one of these protective custody yards and became angry and bitter and went on a mission to build extremely big platforms. Now, I don't want to target anybody else that's out there that may be a content creator that may be uh, a dropout that was on one of these PC yards, right? Because it's not about everybody. Everybody didn't do what this one specific guy did, right? So I have to make it clear and concise that this is about one guy, one person. That's it, that's all. One guy, one person who made a very disparaging video disrespecting and attacking the community of Compton, right? In which I found to be such in low taste and low class, because this man chose to do this during it was fresh. People was out there grieving. The family shouldn't have to look up and see somebody like this speaking anything in regards to a city, and especially referring to it as it being weak, right? And he ain't never been out there. And I can almost promise y'all that you couldn't pay him no amount of money to go out there and call the citizens of Compton weak to their face, irregardless of whatever point that he was trying to make by describing a whole community as being weak. Who cares about that? Once he said what he said with disregard to how anybody would feel or take that in, that made him open game to whatever criticism that followed behind him making that video. Purposely he did. So purposely you will be pursued, sir. You can't do something like that on that level, right? Where you expressing these harsh criticisms and referring to a community as being weak. And you're only pointing out people of color, blacks. Not saying that you should go after the sub Hispanics that also dwell in that city. No. I'm not saying that. However, you did include the whole community by saying this specific city. However, the only people that you put in your video was all black. Okay? So when you refer to the city as being weak, anybody that has a mind is seeing you're attacking black people, period. Point blank. All Bloods, non-affiliates. You got a lot of non-affiliates that dwell in that city as well, that has been there for years upon years, right? That didn't have to gangbang, but they're still proud citizens of that city, sir. And you throw everybody into the same category because of a tragic situation. These type of situations that happen in every community all over Southern California. And it ain't just with black people, sir. Okay? But what I found even more crazier is him jumping and skipping over the tragedy that happened to the poor Hispanic man out in Houston that got assassinated by ICE for absolutely no reason. I found that to be horrible. And I of course, I had my criticisms further about that situation involving that poor Hispanic man that lost his life to the ICE officers. Tragic. It was horrible seeing this man's son do a press conference talking about looking up on the news and seeing his father laid out in the street bleeding, pleading for them to save him. He said, I didn't even have to see his body to know that that was my father, because I heard his voice. I heard him pleading and begging for these people to save his life. They shot him for absolutely no reason. Then turned around and said that he wasn't their initial target. I guess it was somebody else that was supposed to have been in his truck. That was supposed to have been a suspect, right? But this poor man is thinking, and they in on unmarked cars. This poor man is thinking they trying to jack him. He's a hard working man. He's not a gang member. He's a hard working man. Been over here in America for years. You feel me? They said he employed different people. You feel me? And went to work every day. So when these unmarked cars pulled up on him, trying to pull him over, he thinking they trying to carjack him or steal his tools or something. Anybody that's in their right mind, this something like this just come out the blue happening to you, you're gonna try to protect yourself and your stuff too. Unfortunately, that costed him his life, right? But this guy, this podcaster guy, he don't do no stories on that. He don't go and speak in honor of the Hispanic people. And I understand I understand this guy a little bit more now. I've heard a few things. People tapped in with me. It's like, hey, he worked extremely close with law enforcement, bro. So be careful. He's known for this, and that. We're working on a few things to get to you. So if by chance he continued to threaten you and notify this person, and this person, well, we want this to be out here about him. You feel me? So hopefully within the next 24 hours I will have that information to share with my roundtable family, of course, and those out there that may have further interest in this. However, I don't look forward to having a back and forth with this guy. It ain't been no back and forth. He act like he hasn't acknowledged what's going on. However, right, it just wasn't by chance that all these people that came and flooded my chat with all the racist comments and threatening messages and all this and that, right? And they were saying they did it all in honor of this guy. Right? So bam. After all this go on, I start hearing from different people about this dude. Now it was also brought to my attention that this same guy, right, was in the same prison that I was in, right, which was Sat F, New Corcoran, on the C yard, same yard, during the same prominent years when they was going at it. They meaning the northern Hispanics was going at it with the southern Hispanics still. That's when the war was still popping. Now I've told y'all about a couple of those situations that involved these guys, these two different groups. And the cool thing about it, from what I've been told, this guy was there. Somebody was like, hey, go look at this video. He did an interview talking about the same thing that you talked about in regards to what was going on with these guys, right? So I'm like, huh? I'll go look at the video. And sure enough, he's saying, oh, I was there at this time. He described when they was on lockdown, the wars that popped off. He described the time when his homeboys got butchered on the yard. I told y'all this story. I swear to God, I've told this story about, and it's on the channel. Go to my videos. I think one of the name of the videos is called Damn, I ain't gonna even front. I thought I knew the name of it. Is they attack swift, fast and swift, or something like to that nature, right? It's on my channel, right here on this channel. But I told two versions of what went down between the northern Hispanics and southern Hispanics, in which when the four dudes got butchered on the yard, and how after that happened, after that happened, the North Daniels didn't do nothing, right? Everybody was calling them busters, they this, they that, right? Everybody is looking at them a certain way because here it is, the South Side, they butchered them, but the only thing was they didn't kill none of them. That's the only thing they didn't, but they came close to doing it, right? So bam, after that happened, they sit back, they don't do nothing. The whole time though, they rocking them to sleep. I told y'all this story about how when they did this, when they did strike, it was a deadly strike. The target that they targeted, they got their man and they took him out the game. Point blank period. They meaning the North Daniels attacked a Southsider and took him out. We sat there and watched this man die right there on the tier. Okay? Now I've told this story. This guy, this podcaster guy, right, that did the very, very disrespectful video about Compton saying was there at this time when these incidents took place. Now remember how I tell y'all all the time that I'm very familiar with a lot of the North Daniels politics because I dealt with the main ones that was on that yard there, right? Which was New Corcoran Sat F on the C yard. This was the years 2010, 2011, 2012, and on up, right? But when all this was going on between the northern Hispanics and the southern Hispanics, between 2010 and I'm gonna say 2013, from 2010 to 2013. After that, that's when they had their peace treaty. But that when the North Days killed the Southsider, right? That was the last incident that had happened. Facts. That was the last thing, right? He was there. This guy. Now, I got homies that just so happen to frequent this show quite often. That was there with me. Right? I have a specific homie that was my cellie at that time. Right? That has been on the show before, right? That I can absolutely bring back on the show, right? Who was my celly at this time when I was dealing with the head North Daniel dude? Was locked in with him. I think I told a story about an incident that took place that I guess he was testing like my loyalty to him. You feel me? Because we was doing I don't need. I think I told this story, and if I did, I can't remember how the approach that I took when describing what me and him had going on as far as business go. Right. But a situation occurred where, like I said, I took it like he was testing my loyalty to see if how I would respond, under the pressure of me knowing how they policies was and how they got down when it came to business, that if by chance he was one of the ones that broke one of their rules and it got out to his boys and they approached me about it, how would I respond to this? Right? So our thing happened. One of them approached me, North Daniel, right? I believe he was probably like second in rank, right? He was the one that approached me about questioning a certain situation that involved me and the head guy. Hey man, I wanted to come ask you this and that and whoopty woo 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 wham, right? So now, to keep it all the way real, I was alerted by the head guy that this was gonna happen, right? Hey man, I don't know, but I think word got back to my people that this and that happened, right? If by chance any of them approach you, man, I just want to give you a heads up, man. You know, this and that and whoopty whoopty wham, right? The whole time. It's more of a loyalty test thing with this guy. Right? So bam. Anyway, I responded the way that I was supposed to respond. He seen that, that I was the type of guy that was gonna stand on our friendship, based on loyalty, as well as respect and all that. He seen that I wasn't going fold on him. So that opened up the doors even more. And that's when I really, really found out who this guy really, really was, how much power he had within his car. And I just learned more and more about, how they got down. And the whole time, here it is, this guy, this content creator guy, 69 minus 10 with a J at the end, right? Was there in that prison. I don't remember his face. I don't remember him. He was there though. He was most definitely there. I just don't remember his face and all of them was in my building. During the time when they was on lockdown for that long time, all of them was in my building. And I got to know all of them. Y'all know how? Outside of me having the personal friendship that I had with the main guy, I worked in my building. When they needed stuff moved, because they was on lockdown. So being that I worked in there, when they needed stuff moved, 9 times out of 10, they was going to have to come through me to get it from point A to point Z. You feel me? So, especially like during them years at that time too, it was a lot going on. People was getting told on left and right for this and for that. You know what I'm saying? And I was just trying to move below the radar. So it was certain things that I was doing, by me knowing how these different groups, establishments got down political wise. So I just started moving. I tried to fly as low below the radar as I possibly could, while still, being able to dib and dab in a little bit of everything when it comes to grinding and all this and that. But however, this guy was there. He was there. Right? So yeah, I was definitely let known that this person works extremely close with law enforcement. That's fine. We didn't come here to threaten him or anybody. I would never encourage anybody to harm another soul, whether it be him or anybody else. That ain't what we're here for. We're against that. But what we are here for is to stand on the truth, and the truth will always be delivered here at this round table. Point blank, period. No threat, no law enforcement connections, none of that is going to knock us off course on presenting the truth. I can promise you that. Point blank, period. So report what you may. Those that tune into this channel, that really know what this platform is about, no, we're not about, pushing negative narratives. You feel me? Our motivation isn't driven by hatred. Our motivation isn't driven by the pain of getting kicked knee deep up in the ass to the point where you get kicked all the way out the game. You can't accept being kicked out the way that you did. Now you hate the game. And your every living last breath is to destroy that game. The same one that you pledged yourself to. The same game, rules and guidelines that I currently live up under, you was under the same structure. You was under the same shit. You pushed just as hard as me. Here it is. This guy admitted that he climbed in ranks to where he had a lot of say so within his collective, right? Which means he was pushing. He was pushing. And under those same rules and guidelines and regulations that I'm up under right now. So if you climb that deep within your collective like that, that tells you how strongly he felt when it came to the rules. You feel me? He didn't go against it. He didn't violate no rule to get to that rank. He self admitted, I had a lot of say so in this. They gave me this amount of power. They gave me, you don't get that amount of power by going against the rule. You get that power from pushing strong, not folding, not breaking, not violating no rule, enforcing it to the fullest. That's how you get that type of rank. So y'all have to understand what his hatred and evilness is driven by now. And I say evilness is because his approach to try to take everybody that is against him out, that's against his false narrative, his watered down narrative, right? And also, this is a guy that does gang version of murder mystery involving gang members, all gang members. He go through different cases involving gang members, no matter who it is. Find out as much information that he can. Make videos. This guy says he interviews the victim's family, the person that's accused of whatever's family. He pulled their records. He do this, he do that, like a lot of police work, right? True detective. And he's made a very, very good career. I was trying to understand, like, how is this person able to have such a big voice? He has 100 and something thousand subscribers. His platform is humongous. But all built and created off the game. The game that he once pushed and thrived in until he got X'd out that game. He felt betrayed. He's heartbroken. He's been heartbroken ever since he got kicked up his butt and forced to leave. Now his heart is broken. Y'all know the term, how they say ain't no woman like one that's scorned. Right? I wouldn't have never believed that had I not seen a man, supposedly, that is showing these signs of anger and bitterness. See, like I've been telling my roundtable family, right? Those of y'all that's really tapped in like that, hey, we come here to educate each other, to be better versions of ourselves, to encourage other people to be better versions of themselves. Allow the young youth, if they're listening by chance, to understand that you don't have to be in a gang to be relevant in life. And if you're not in the gang, we advise you not to ever go join. You can be great just being yourself. You can be whatever you want to be without having that attachment. So what if you got family that's tied into that? So what if some of your childhood friends is tied into that? That don't mean that got to be your faith. A real man or woman is going to always want better for you. Even gang members, even hardened core gang members like myself that still have those attachments to that life. I'm going to always want better for y'all. All y'all deserve to have a fair chance at life. You feel me? Point blank, period. So if I can give you a version of the path that you can take at that fair chance at life without having to be tied to anything negative as far as gangs and all that shit go, and jeopardizing your life and freedom on behalf of something that won't even pay for your funeral when you die for it. I don't have to get X'd out the game and sent to a PC yard and develop this hatred to turn around and discourage the youth from going down the path that I went and making the mistakes that I went. No, I don't have to get kicked up in my butt and sent to a PC yard to encourage the youth that want to hear it to choose a better path and explain to them, if you by chance go down this path, bro, this is what to expect. Me, will be the one of two things on which your life could end up being. Either dead and under the ground, or alive and buried inside of a concrete coffin prison cell. Right? These are the messages that we come to this ramp and present. And it's not driven by hate. You feel me? Or every second will not be spent on attacking the people that just so happen to go PC or SNY. It's a waste of energy and time. It really is. So that don't be my main focus. That don't be my sole focus on attacking those people. If you chose to go over there, you chose to go over there. Live with it. That's your choice, not mine. But don't go over there and then develop a voice and then turn around and try to make it seem like I'm the piece of shit for staying under the same rules and guidelines that you was up under, that you rose in ranks up under. How am I the piece of shit and I ain't violate no rules? How am I looked at as being wrong? I don't come on here to tell the youth or whoever to go into any community and destroy it. Disrespect the elders, disrespect your parents, disrespect your community by going and fucking it up. You know what I mean? Any and everything that I have been involved in up under the gang culture, I present to this round table and I try to discourage people from making them same mistakes. I've used stories. You feel me? I've used different accounts of certain things that has personally took place with myself. You know, to get my point across to the people that need that visual understanding. I'm not here, I'm not mad, I'm not irate. I'm not in attack mode. None of that. Calm, cool, collected. Now, some of my words might, I use cuss words here and there, but again, I talk to my round table and I talk to all of y'all like I talk to my young homies in here. Sometimes, yeah, the words can be better. However, again, man, this is a rated R program with understanding that it's only that way because I relate to y'all. I'm not above. I don't have to come and utilize every word, a big word, where you're sending you, wait, what that mean? Go back to the dictionary. No, not at all. We gonna keep it real and uncut. Even if that involve a couple of cuss words here and there. However, all real, all factuals, nothing made up, no false narratives being pushed or enforced or none of that. I'm just trying to understand why these people viewing us when they say that the general population guys and the people that is still have attachments to this gang shit that want better, that's doing everything in their power to try to make their situation and communities better, right? No matter how big or small, at least the effort is there. How do we become the ones that's wrong? When we the ones that really want and still having attachments to that life, we the ones that want better. We're not the ones that's that's spewing all this hatred. We're not jumping in people's chats, you know, putting all these hateful things and threats. We don't have to do that. That's a waste of energy and time. And to the people that indulges in that indulged in it here at this platform, hey, it just goes to show that we are absolutely on the right path. And we will stay on that path because that's the path that we've been on from the very get-go, from the first show down to now. Point blank, period. And if I'm perceived as a threat because I choose to stay the course on realness, nothing made up, nothing false, none of that. Not, you know, no false narratives or none of that. I'm not, all my videos don't attack PCs. The videos where I address these people is videos refuting BS that they want the public to hear. Listen to a lot of these guys that's been over there on those yards. Just listen to their conversation. Listen to how they approach and look at this 50-50 PC SNY thing, right? It's not just bitterness and anger laced. Everything is purposely said and done because they are heartbroken that they was X'd out the game when they was pushing just as strong as anybody else under the same rules and guidelines. They are heartbroken. They are hurt. I can almost promise you, if they wasn't forced out, they'd still be pushing the same rules and guidelines just as hard as all the real ones are. I can promise you that. That's a fact. If they wasn't forced out, I can promise you they'd still be pushing. They wouldn't be doing everything in their power to try to destroy and wipe it out by using police tactics. You feel me? And threats of utilizing the police to do their job for them because they feel this one guy, me, is such a big threat to them to debunk all the BS that they put out there when it comes to prison, the main line, and all this stuff, right? How they ended up over on those bad yards, you know. When I come and debunk that, I'm the number one top out. I will always be that. Those of y'all that know better, y'all will always be that too. Somebody has to be the sacrifice though, in order for the truth to continue to stay afloat and not be sunk by these guys with these bigger platforms and louder voices. Period. I'm not giving up on y'all. I can promise you that. The truth will always be there, and the truth will always prevail. You feel me? Shout out to the chat, man. Let me get to my roundtable family. Foundation Nation, salute, salute, salute. Brody, glad you was able to make the live. He said, move on. That's right, Brody. Appreciate you, man. Glad you was able to make it. Thank me later. What's up, bro? Glad you was able to make the live. Salute, salute. Send all my love and respect to you as well. I love chocolate. What's up, sis? Glad you was able to make the live as well. Send all my love and respect to you. Jake Brown, big bro, man, I definitely send all my love and respect to you. Glad you was able to make the live, Brody. Salute. Beach Boy, my brethren. Glad you was able to make the live. Send all my love and respect to you as always, man. Hope everything is going well for you and the fam, Brody. Bobby J, man, glad you was able to make the live. Send all my love and respect to you as well. Salute, salute, salute to you, Brody. Pam, what's up, sis? She said, greetings, family. Hey, shout out to you. Send all my love and respect. Glad you was able to make the live, sis. Artifact Corpse, my bro, my brethren. Glad you was able to make the live. Send all my love and respect to you as well, Brody. Salute. Casper Lowe, Altadena Block's finest, man. Send all my love and respect to you, Brody. Glad you was able to make the live, bro. For real, for real. Casper Loke said, in Maine, right? Maine is the second incident. Dexter Robinson, what's up, bro? Salute. Glad you was able to make the live. Send all my love and respect to you as always. Real one right there. Odell Harden. Hey, Odell Harden, bro. Salute. I send all my love and respect to you, bro. Like you, Odell Harden is definitely like has to be like the top swang low roundtable family member, bro, that is dedicated to enriching his mind on all the stories that I've prevented. I mean, excuse me, that I've presented to this roundtable, right? I mean, all of them, bro. Is just binge watching and going through everything. You feel me? So salute to you, man. I send all my love to you, bro. I'm glad you was able to make the live. For real, for real. Beach Boy said, "What up, Creep?" I mean, Odell Harden said, "What up, Creep?" Running through the archives. I already know. I already know you are, bro. You stay on point with it, for real, for real. Beach Boy said, "That's crazy. If he was there during that time period, I wonder he's in his feelings. He couldn't withstand the pressure, and he see you still standing strong on the main line." Hey, Beach Boy, that's a fact. He was there. He was definitely there during those times because he did a video. They was telling me, they was like, go look at this video. Go look at this video. He did a interview with an XCO, and he's describing the same situation that you talked about at the same year where you said this happened. You did the show on that situation between the northern and southern Hispanics where the one dude lost his life. I'm like, he was there. I said, what? So I go look, and sure enough, bro was there. Facts. My beautiful woman, Miss Golden, I send all my love and respect to you. You know you are the queen of the round table, the queen of Swang Low. I can't express enough to you how much I appreciate everything that you institute, not just into this platform, but into my life as well. You are definitely like the major centerpiece of everything that goes on with Creek. So I send my love to you as always. Salute to you, my beautiful woman and co-host. I love chocolate said, never negative, always positive. Hey man, we try to be, sis. You know, um, the only thing that can be perceived as it being anywhere close to negative, right, is when I come and have to debunk something that I may have seen one of these guys jump out there and say or express harsh criticism about circumstances that has no ties to them at all. Something that they definitely couldn't relate to, when they not the ones specifically going through, the trauma from what this guy chose to jump out there and speak about so harshly from the comfort of his home, where he just cutting on and off a camera and uploading the video when these people is living this tragedy in real time. He ain't got no attachments to it, and like I said, he ain't got no plans on going out there to Compton and facing any of these people. He has zero plans on ever running into them because he's not gonna put himself in a position to be outside of the realm of the police. From what I've heard, he worked very, very closely with him. Very. You feel me? So, hey. King Grover said, damn, I'm late. What's cracking round table? Man, what's up, King Grover? Man, I send all my love and respect to you as always, Brody. Glad you was able to make the live. Salute, salute, salute to you always. Pam said, each one teach one. Absolutely. That's what we about here, sis. You know that. You know that. Mr. Bruce, what up? What up, Bruce? I'm glad you was able to make the live. Salute to you. Send my love and respect. Welcome to the round table. Odell Harden say so. Bam. Beach Boy said, Beach Boy says some of the PC dudes be having a vendetta against people that holds them accountable for their actions. A lot of them be and angry and ready to spaz out, thinking everyone plotting on them. That's exactly my point, Beach Boy. That's exactly my point. You just said that better than I ever could, right? These are the same guys that's ready to go there because their heart is broken. Their heart is broken. If you listen to them talk, they still putting stuff on the dead homies. If you listen to them talk, they still saying that they have attachments to their neighborhood, right? If you listen to them talk, they still utilize a lot of the gang lingo, right? They are heartbroken because they are no longer in good standings and they are feeling attacked because people are looking down on them for making the decision to fall weak in the game and go PC. And they can't accept the PC tag that is forever going to be on them, which is why they get so angry and mad and is driven by that anger and despair. That's why they be in attack mode 24/7. That's a cold kind of person. That's a cold kind of human being. That's the worst, absolute worst type of energy that you want around you because it's unpredictable. It becomes unpredictable. You don't know what a person like that is ever going to do, especially when they went over there and had to live under no rules. There's many examples of it now on the internet of how these guys would tell you when they go over there, there's no rules, there's no politics, there's no nothing. They tell you that. On a level 4 general population mainline yard where I'm at, you have to live under rules and regulations, point blank, period. I've been living up under these same rules and regulations for 30 something years. 30 something years. It ain't been no cakewalk, but it ain't never got bad to the point where I felt like I can't do this no more. I'm finna go over here to this PC yard where they have no rules, no structure, no nothing, and be cool with that. Right? Get out of prison and then try to pick back up where I left off. Okay, now I'm out this shit. I didn't have to go through living under rules and regulations in prison because I went PC. Now I'm back out that shit. I'm finna get back tough. I'm finna get back on my hood shit and putting everything on the dead homies and all this and that, showing up to different hood functions like I ain't never pressed pause in my gangsterism. You feel me? So when we come here, you know, we come here and we inform these guys that is part of that gang culture life, right? If you're gonna be that, then this is the correct way you need to be up under that if you're gonna be a real one. If you consider yourself to be a real one, this is the information that you're gonna need, bro. Anything other than this is gonna get a extremely big target put on your back. This ain't just for the younger youth. This is for the parents too, because a lot of the parents don't understand, you know, how things change and what the true rules are. You know, so what? Your son or daughter only got caught with a gun and they gave him a year or two, and they sending them to this. Well, it's expected of them as gang members, right? They was a gang member when they was running around with that pistol on them that got them that 1 to 3 years. They was a gang member when they was hopping in these different hood vlogs. They was a gang member when they was doing whatever up under that lifestyle, right? So if that's what they choose to be and they consider themselves to be a real one, then there's real rules and regulations to live by if you're going to be a gang member, a real one. Right? That pretendo shit, it gets a target put on your back. And I'm not here to put a target on anybody's back. I'm here to give and deliver the truth and debunk the bullshit that a lot of these dudes will have y'all believe. Oh, they want them to go to the level 4, you know, when they got a year or 3 left, And they only in there for a gun. They want them to crash out and mess up so they can be in there with them. Don't believe that. That's not the case at all. See, we understand that the system is set up and designed to, if you want to be a PC person, if you want to be, part of that life and that establishment, then they got that available for you. You just got to sign off on your gangsterism. Okay, I go coexist with them, and I don't want to be this right now. I pause this for right now. I go over here and sell you up with whoever, lay up with the same sex. No attacking any of them people that's into that. Again, this is not bullying or harassment of anybody. It's educational purposes only, right? But if you make the decision to go that route, then hey, go full fledged with it. I'm telling you, either or. Either or. If you are a real gang member, the information is here available for you. Go full fledged with it. If not, and you want to go PC, go ahead. This information is available for you too on that side of the fence, right? Go full fledged with it. I'm telling you, for whatever choice you choose to make, but you are going to have the appropriate knowledge about both sides. Whichever your choice be, you will have the appropriate knowledge about both sides. And because I'm willing to give that to y'all, I'm the threat. They saying that I'm the piece of shit, that I'm the piece of crap. Not the ones that went PC that violated whatever rule. They got the big voices, the big platforms. They are looked at as the righteous. They're willing to work side by side, arm in arm with law enforcement, in which this one guy, 69 minus 10 with a J at the end, does. Facts. And hey, if that's that man's, career move that he chose to make, if he felt like that was a better play for himself, then hey, so be it. So be it. However, using the police to try to take me out, right? That's nasty work. That's nasty work. That's nasty work. Of course, I understand that, people don't look forward to seeing somebody attack something that they've done or said. They don't look forward to it. I know he didn't. Right? And he vowed, right? By having those people say all those disparaging things in my chat during my live, right? Orchestrated by design, I swear, right? To try to get the video flagged, right? You don't have to utilize police type games, man. I know the truth hurt. Truth will continue to hurt. Because guess what? We not going nowhere. You think we are, but we not. You can snitch to whoever you want. Drop a kite. Do whatever you want. You feel me? We're not doing those type of things. Matter of fact, if had that not happened, we wouldn't be talking about you now. If you having all those people jump in the chat, saying all that racist stuff and all those threats and all that crazy shit that y'all was saying up in there, all them people came from you. 69 minus 10 with a J at the end. We know this. This is a fact. Police type shit, man. But hey, I expect nothing less of a person that is heartbroken, scorned deeply, deeply scorned. I remind him of the people that he was up under, his big dogs. Anytime he got to look up and see my face, he see them. The same people that X'd him out the game and sent him over to the other side with all those stab wounds all over his face and body and head and chest and back and neck and arms. Stabbed 30 some times, probably more. But for sure, they was trying to make lunch meat out that man. He screamed and hollered in a cell just like this. Imagine that. Imagine being locked inside this concrete cell, the same cell that I'm in your own establishment. It's trying to wipe you down. Your own establishment, the same establishment that you grew all this rank in. The same establishment that you was the rules and regulations and guidelines, like how I have to live being in here. You lived under that same thing. You pushed that shit hard and fell victim to it at the same time because you violated a rule. It wasn't them that did bad. It wasn't them that went bad. It was you. You was the defect, sir. But here it is, you're so heartbroken. I understand. You was forced out. You heartbroken. If they told you, come here, fool, we'll bring you back. Come here. We'll bring you back. We'll give you another try. I believe he would do it. I believe that he would go back if they invited him back in. Oh, we're gonna overlook all your faults and give you another shot. That's all they be wanting is another shot to prove themselves that I'm not really a PC, Holmes. I'm not. I just messed up that one time. Let me go back and prove myself. That's what they be wanting, and they don't get it. That's where that heartache and that heart being broke and all that pain from that come from their drive, every video, every interview. They hate what they got X'd out of. They hate it. What was once love turned into bitter hate. And that drove them to a very, very big platform. Especially this guy, 69, minus 10, with a J at the end. Deep. Earn Strap Along. What's up, Brody? Salute. Glad you was able to make the live. He said salute. And make sure y'all like and subscribe. Share this live. Creep, what up? Real one always prevail, man. Hey, you already know, bro. Salute, salute, salute. Glad you was able to make it. All love, all respect for you all the time. For real, for real. Earn Strap-Along said, your time coming, fam. It absolutely is, bro. And when my time come, that's going to be all our time. And we all going to bask in it together as one. You feel me? Because what I appreciate is loyalty. People got other responsibilities out there in life. Kids, job, maintaining the home, all that type of stuff, bills and stuff, But y'all come here and y'all spend this time at this round table with not just me, but with all the rest of the family. How can one not appreciate and love y'all for that? So everything, all the successes and everything that's going to come with this, y'all are part of that. We are one. I don't go nowhere without y'all. Period. Pam said, hold up. So you saying you the boogeyman? Nah, I don't get that. And I'm scared straight of a California jail, respectfully. Pam said, free creep until it is backwards, man, for sure, for sure. And no, I am not the boogeyman. However, these guys that's viewing me as a threat to them, look at me as exactly that, the boogeyman. When they see me, they see they big homies that got them off the main line. For whatever reason, they was removed. When they see me, that's them the pictures, the images that pop up in these guys' heads. You feel me? So whatever it takes, including utilizing the help of the police, they are willing to go these lengths. Period. They said it. They made themselves perfectly clear. You feel me? Cuz 3X, what's up, sis? Glad you was able to make the live, man. I send my love and respect to you as always. She said, hey, bro, Miss Golden and the Round Table fam. Salute, 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 sis. Glad you was able to make it. Double O to God. What's up, Brody? Brody, glad you was able to make the live. I send my love and respect to you as always. He said, free King Five Fingers from 55th Street. Man, free him quick. Free Baby Snap as well. Free all the real ones. Pam says, shout out to Miss Golden. Respect. 777 says, salute. Salute to you, Brody. Glad you was able to make the live. Send my love and respect to you. Miss Golden said, free my heart. We got stuff to do. We absolutely do, Miss Golden. You feel me? And I can't wait for not just me and you, but the Round Table family, all of us to, continue to climb the steps of the things that we need to do and go through to get to the next level. You feel me? I want everybody to it's kind of like all of us riding this big old spaceship and we seeing everything together for the first time as it comes, as we take that journey. And that's what this is. We doing this together as one. So Miss Golden, again, hey man, I can't wait. It's gonna be beautiful. I cannot wait. This guy said, okay, I'm not gonna even say that, bro. I'm not gonna say that. Cuz 3X say free creep. Time served, man, for sure, sis. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I really do, man. Let's keep speaking it into existence. It's gonna happen. For real, for real. 777 said they'll turn on their own biological family as well. No honor. None. No honor, bro. For real, for real. Pam said character letters. Character letters, everything, man. Everything count. Keith Kloss, what's up, bro? Salute. Glad you was able to make the live. I send all my love and respect to you, Brody. For real, for real. Salute, salute. Pam said, Miss Golden, we got to start speaking it into existence. Our minds is more powerful than anything. Absolute facts. Facts on top of facts. King Groover said, preach, creep, LOL. You already know, King Groove. You already know, bro. That's what we here to do. Straight up. King Groover said, any person with any self-respect or dignity would never coexist with the likes of those on a PC yard, the chomos, gays, and snitches. That is absolute fact. That is an absolute fact, man. It's crazy because the guys that do make the decisions and choices to go to those yards and be one with those people, it's the same ones eventually that's going to get out, like a couple of them have, develop a voice that they never had like that, and then start preaching falsisms instead of keeping it real. Instead of trying to inform the public on where they messed up at and how they ended up on those yards. And once they got over there, what they was engaging in. How was life for you once? Because you got to experience both sides of the fence. You got to experience the righteous side, then you got to experience the protected side. Right? Now, we don't want to hear about you, nothing that you got to say when you was on the righteous side, because you violated whatever, they got you sent over to the protective side. Right? So You got to avoid all anything that was going on with you when you was on the main line. Now, educate the people about your life over there. What was going on over there? Tell the truth. Tell how same sex, and again, this is not an attack on the LGBT. This ain't bullying. This ain't harassing. This ain't none of that. Strictly educational purposes, right? But tell the people about your life over there, man. The truth, the real. Y'all say there's no politics, there's no nothing. Go into depth about that. Period. King Grover said, "Hey, Creek, low, hey, dig this. Here, the snitches out here living their best life. Hey, I can only imagine. I can only imagine, bro." King Grover said, "Snitches get all the interviews and promotion. They absolutely do. They absolutely do." And the crazy thing about it is the same tactics that I come and debunk, the stuff that they are putting out there. That's why I'm perceived to be the threat. You feel me? They don't want me to have this space, this voice, because they have been getting away with putting all these falsisms out about the gang culture, about prison life and all that, right? To the point where they was able to build up these massive big platforms quick. 69 minus 10 with a J at the end. He been having that YouTube channel that he got right now for 4 years. And he got over 170 something thousand subscribers. Damn near close to having 200,000 subscribers. You feel me? 30,000 something views a video and 50,000 and all the like. I was amazed when I did my research on this guy. I was extremely amazed. Right? So when I was able to take in the interview where he was talking about being in Sat F, New Corcoran on the Sea Yard when I was there, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Because I listened to the things that he was saying. And that's when it hit me like he is heartbroken. He is absolutely heartbroken. That's where all his hatred is driven from. Him being heartbroken. Scorned. Pam said, "King, I'm a tax-paying, law-abiding citizen. I'm on mute." King Grover said, "I'm a taxpayer too, Pam. I'm a whole businessman. It's neither here nor there. LOL." Pam said, "King, put a million laughy faces." Keith Claw said, "Once upon a time, a snitch knew good and well that they weren't welcome. Now they're celebrated. It's crazy. They are absolutely celebrated, bro. They're brought back into the fold. They're given. It's crazy how these dudes are positioned in certain places of power where they got all the motion. I don't get it. It ain't like they're more smarter than me or you. But for whatever reason, I don't. It's always a sucker ass dude that got all this motion. It's always one. Now, if you look around on this internet space with a lot of these dropout content creators, right? They have the biggest platforms, right? And I'm not here to take I'm not attacking none of the other podcasters. Again, let me make that clear because I don't need nobody. It's one person. He has a massive platform, does big numbers, right? And I told y'all he does murder mystery type content, only all gang related. Whether they're Southern Hispanics, whether there's Northern Hispanics, whether it's Crips, whether it's Bloods, whether it's whatever. He does actual murder mystery documentaries. You feel me? And that's how he was able to develop this big, massive cult following. Right? Them people actually love this dude, right? To the point where they was dumb enough to jump in my chat and put all those racist things and threats and all this stuff, right? All by him telling them to do it, right? Come on, man. We know this guy was behind it. Everybody that's sitting up under you, big guy, ain't loyal. You know what a sleeper is, don't you? Yeah, you know what a sleeper is. Well, there's a couple of sleepers over there with you. And I'm just going to leave it at that, man. We know. We know what you did last summer, sir. Odell Harden said, "Thank you, Creed, for sharing this positive energy. Swang Low podcast going up. Hey, always, Dill. Hey, that's always the goal, man. Stay on point, stay focused. Keep our energy, protected, while still standing firm on everything that we're supposed to stand firm on and all our beliefs. You feel me? We don't come preach false narratives here. That would never happen at this round table. Never. There's too many great minds here anyway. Trust me. My mind is on point with everything. You feel me? King Grover said, "Hey, you trying to be funny, Andrea?" Fucking Mark. Oh, one must have snuck up in here. Yeah, snipe they ass, man. Snipe them. Whenever y'all see them jump in the chat, don't let them, cloud the chat with all the BS. Snipe them as soon as they get up in there with the BS. As soon as they reveal themselves, get them up out of there. Jackson Darrell, what's up, bro? Salute. Glad you was able to make the live. Send my love and respect to you, Brody. He said, just checking in. Wow, somebody is really trying to get your channel taken, Creek. Hating ass punks. Yeah, bro. Yeah, the guy 69 minus 10 with a J at the end is actively trying to do it right now. Getting videos flagged and all that. He absolutely is, and he's utilizing his massive fan base, because again, the guy has almost 200,000 subscribers. 200,000. He's at 170 something thousand subscribers right now. He has a massive following. You feel me? That's just a fact. So he's utilizing his will and power in this internet space to try to get the channel taken. Starting by getting certain videos flagged, like he did the other day, where they shut down the comment section. It was just so much BS going on in there. All from him. All encouraged by him. 69 minus 10 with a J at the end. Facts. Pam said, just trying to lighten up the mood. Pay me no mind, King. King Groover said, I ain't talking to you, Pam. I'm talking to Andrea, whoever her weird ass is. Odell Harden said, please have Golden save copies of all your videos for a backup channel. Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, if by chance this guy is able to be successful with getting this channel shut down, we always have Press Play TV Uncut. Please go over there and subscribe to that channel. We need a couple of more subscribers to start going live from that channel, right? And we're definitely gonna it's gonna be the same script, the same get down. You feel me? No change. We ain't changing up on our people. No how, no way. You feel me? My bad, I cut this camera off for a second. I'm still here though, my peoples. Press Play TV Uncut, man. Pam say, oh, okay, I'm on mute. Beach Boy said, wait a minute. That's how dude get down? So he sent his channel members to try and sabotage the Swang Low podcast. That's crazy. We haven't that. Yeah, he did that, bro. Yeah, Beach Boy. I was doing the show not yesterday, but the day before, right? And it's the video where I was talking about blacks joining Hispanic gangs and Hispanics joining black gangs, right? It was doing that live where he sent all his members over here, right? And they put so many crazy comments in the comments during in the chat, right? Where YouTube shut it down. I couldn't even see none of the comments. They had shut it. I was wondering. I'm like, well, I'm not seeing none of my family members' comments. I wasn't seeing nothing. But Miss Golden and my little bro DQ seen everything. They was in there trying to snipe as many of them as they could, but it got overwhelming. There was so many people putting all the racist comments up in there, bro. Yeah, they absolutely did that. He instructed them to do it too. That's a fact. King Groover said, "Oh, you trying to be funny? I'm about to show you what's popping. Groove, watch this. Get him." Jackson Darrell say, "You are a real one, Creek. That's why I mess with you." Hey, I appreciate that, bro. We are all real. You feel me? All the ones that come to this round table, man, and y'all jump into the chat. You feel me? And y'all add what y'all got to add to it. It's just like sitting. That's why I call it the round table. But it's the same feel that I get when I'm in here with my young homies, or when I'm around homies. Period. And we just talking about whatever. You feel me? It's not a directed narrative. It's a narrative where we start from, but then all of y'all create everything else around it. That's why I call y'all my co-hosts. You feel me? We got a lot of great minds here, man. You feel me? And hey, I love it. I'm always amazed. I'm always impressed anytime I come to this round table with y'all, and you know, everybody engage. I love it. It's beautiful, bro. So Jackson Darrell, we all real ones, bro. I salute you. Thank you. I love chocolate said, you know, this live is good when I'm at the gym watching it. LOL. That's right. That's right. I love chocolate. Hey, man. Hey, look, that's what I find beautiful and amazing, right? You say you at the gym right now watching it, right? My boy Odell, I believe he drives trucks, right? So while he's out there on the road, he's binge watching all these shows. Binge watching, you know, one at a time, one at a time, one at a time, faithfully. Faithfully. You feel me? And that's how you know that we are great entertainment for ourselves, because nothing is fictitious, nothing is hate driven. We're not here attacking people. You know what I mean? We like, man, this is a whole different vibe, a whole different feel for the better. For the better. Where people is able to come here and show how great of a mind that they have. No matter what you face with in your daily life, if it's a struggle or whatever, right? We come here, the day might have been whatever, but when we come here, it's a good feel. We are all happy to be here, except the haters. And we trying to even win them over. It don't have to be about hate. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with King Groove. You don't have to agree with I Love Chocolate. You don't have to agree with Miss Golden. You don't have to agree with Pam. You don't have to agree with my bro Damo Robbins. You don't have to agree with none of our round tables. It's many of them. It's many of them. But you don't have to come with anger and hatred and bitterness either. Just because you may have a different outlook or perspective on whatever. It don't have to be about hate. I come and I debunk what needs to be debunked, and I do it without hatred. I just explain things out truthfully as I possibly can, keep it real, stand on it, you know, and I don't come and preach any falsehoods, false narratives, no hidden motives or agendas or none of that. The message is always going to be greater than me. Why you think everybody is included here at this round table? You feel me? All our purpose is the same, bro. Period. Sam Q West LA, he say top of the evening, black folks, salute, one love, man. Hey, glad you was able to make the live, Brody. Shout out to West LA, all the people that's out there, you know, much love, much respect, always. Guerrilla Warfare, what's up, Brody? Salute. Glad you was able to make the live. Send my love and respect to you as always. Salute. My bro, Chill 16 in life. He say, I'm just pulling up, man. I'm glad you was able to make the live, bro. I send my love and respect to you as always. You feel me? One of the guys that inspired me to do better in this content creating space. You feel me? Gave me a grown man focus, and showed me that we might have indifferences. We're not always going to agree on the same things, or approach to certain things it's not going to always be the same. However, we all are on the same mission. You feel me? And once I sat back and I opened my mind up to that, and I understood, like, you know what? Yeah, you definitely got to, step out of those stone ages on certain things, and allow the door to be open for everybody, and always be willing to take a diplomatic approach to certain things, because your way don't mean is your way or the highway. Your way ain't gonna always be the correct way. You feel me? So I always credit my bro 16 in life, man, for being one of the real ones. A person that I know personally outside of this YouTube space. You know, um, we was both in unfortunate positions of being in prison together. He has since gotten out after doing a substantial amount of time, having a life sentence. Story just as deep as mine's, right? But was able to make it through that storm, through that journey, to where he's at now. He's out, he's free, he's living his life. He no longer have to live up under the prison stuff because he's free. However, being a diplomatic man with the understanding of okay, I was in here, I get these aspects of this, now I'm free. I'm still understanding those aspects, but at the same time, I'm free. So taking a diplomatic approach to, he just showed me a better way. You feel me? So I always salute, bro. I will always have the greatest love and respect for him. Point blank, period. Shout out to 16 Life. Please go over there, man, and subscribe to him if y'all haven't already subscribed. Shout out to those of y'all that have come from 16 Life over to this roundtable family, man. All love, all respect. I salute all of y'all. Guerrilla Warfare say they be capped. Absolutely do. Odell Harden said, what up, 16? Keith Claw said, chill. Pam said, you can buy subscribers here and make dummy account here. Oh yeah, man. Buying them subscribers will mess your channel up. You feel me? That's one thing I researched. I did a lot of research on that. Like that can mess your channel up for real, for real. So I don't suggest anybody that's getting into this content creator space to do that. You don't need to do that. You feel me? That's why I always ask politely. For those of y'all that didn't subscribe already, please take this opportunity now to comment. Comment too, jump in the chat, but also subscribe to the Swing Glow podcast show. Do Rock Creep. I would greatly appreciate it. You feel me? Just ask politely. I ask politely, and thankfully, by the blessings of God, people subscribe. They have subscribed. It's a blessing to have people that's willing to come sit at this round table and be part of this round table family, man. And we just encourage each other. We try to make each other better with appropriate knowledge. You feel me? Not telling people to go out and harm anybody. I can have all the disagreements in the world with this guy 69 minus 10 with a J at the end, right? But at the same token, I would never encourage anybody to go harm a hair on that man's head. Never. Why? That's wasted bullets in my honest opinion. He don't need that. He just need to be devoiced on speaking on things that he shouldn't be speaking on. That's all. Other than that, had he not disrespected a whole community, a city, right? That he's not from. I doubt if he ever stepped foot in. You feel me? And definitely wouldn't go out to that city and express those harsh criticisms to those proud citizens of Compton. I challenged him to do that. He would never do it. Of course he won't. He won't step out of the realm of the company of protection of law enforcement. He won't do that. That's a fact. So, with me knowing this, hey, after this, you probably won't hear me speak about him again unless he make the feeble attempt to try to get this channel shut down, videos flagged and all that, have all those people jumping in the chat, saying all the racist stuff. See, dude think he's playing chess. Oh, get in the chat, put all this racist stuff up in there, use Hispanic names so he can jump out there and say something disrespectful to the Hispanic community. That ain't how this works, dummy. That ain't how this works. Hey, I was born at night, but not last night, sir. It's not gonna work. Okay? I'm very well aware of who you are now. You feel me? And hey, I'm, cool on any back and forth, or just keep your peoples out our chat, man. Guerrilla Warfare said, yeah, most solid niggas get boxed out. Absolutely. 16 of Life said, here's what it is. Partially, in my opinion, the Southerners and Northerners is good. Southerners and Northerners in good standings don't discuss their politics. The dropouts DP and people tend to clamor for that type of information. That is a fact. That is a fact, and that is a 16 of Life. That is something that definitely needs to be pointed out, right? You will never see no active Southsider or North Daniel on YouTube with a YouTube channel airing out none of their dirty laundry, none of their politics, nothing. That's why you see this guy 69 minus 10 with a J at the end doing what he doing, taking his shots at the North Daniels, taking his shots at the Southsiders, taking his shots at the Crips and the Bloods, right? That's why he's doing that, because of his dropout status. He's loyal to nothing or nobody but law enforcement. I understand that. But that is absolute fact, 16 to Life, bro. That's facts, bro. Facts. Pam said, you appeal any strike and have the time stamp where you stated this is not for bullying or harassment, strictly education purposes. Absolutely. That's why I keep stressing that, Pam, that in no way, shape, form, or fashion is this law or any video, or whether it be long or short, bullying, harassment, targeting, none of that. We are completely against that. We are here to uplift and encourage the youth, the communities, the people that need encouragement. And the only way that we can do that appropriately is giving the proper knowledge on whatever topic that it is that we present at this roundtable. It's never to bully nobody. It's never to harass or target no person or specific group. This is strictly for educational purposes. The proof is in the pudding. Pam said, you always counter any strikes. Absolutely. 34 said, touchdown, huh? Hopefully soon, 34. Salute to you, man. I'm glad you was able to make the live too, Brody. Hopefully soon, though. Hopefully that day comes soon. And when I find out, y'all gonna find out. I promise you that. And everything that's going to come with that, y'all go on that journey with me. Nobody, y'all, I'm telling you, man, you become part of this round table family. Just imagine that though. Imagine seeing me at my lowest in prison, been in prison for 31 years, going on 32, all this time, right? Making these videos, doing these lives, interacting with y'all, right? And bam, I get that information. Hey, you finna get out. They overturned your case. You finna go home. When I hear those words, y'all gonna hear those words. We gonna celebrate together. That's a fact. I promise you. So when I find out, I promise you, my roundtable family gonna find out as well. Pam said, push come to shove, YouTube probably tell you just to take the video down. 16 to Life said, what's good, Odell? J-Dub, SGV, what's up, my buddy? I send all my love and respect to you, my Southside brethren. Real one right there. Real one. You feel me? And that's somebody that I greet and bless wholeheartedly, full embrace. You feel me? Real Southsider. Salute to you, J-Dub. 16 to Life said, also, people who do not have YouTube channels may not realize the amount of subscribers a person has really has a little effect on the channel. It is more of an ego thing. That's absolute fact. That's absolute fact. That's real. And he's allowing his ego, to be affected, right? Because I come to express truth and honesty, right? I don't have to go through all his stuff and, go jump in his comment section and have people go jump in his comment section and say all these disparaging things, right? Why? I don't wish any bad on the man at all. I'm a content creator just like he is. You feel me? So me speaking my truth and debunking any falsisms that they may be presenting to the public, right, shouldn't be looked at as a threat on his life, because I'm not here to bully him or anybody, right? I don't want to make him a target. I just respond to what's been given to me. That's it. That's all. Not to bully, not to harass, not to target, none of that. This is strictly educational purposes, because guess what? This young kids, I know for a fact, I got them in my family that's going to see these videos, and they going to want to know what their uncle been about. Right? I don't want them just being taught he was a gang member, he was a Crip. He was in prison all these years for this, and that. It's a whole lot more that people need to know and understand where my mind state is at now, my mentality, my thoughts, my feelings as a grown-ass man that has been through everything that I've been through. I can't come here and present anything false when it comes to that, and I don't want to see other people go through that same shit, making the same dumb mistakes that I've made over and over. Y'all not smarter than the system. That's the most important message that I can give y'all, is y'all not smarter than these people. The system is designed 5 steps ahead of us. None of us have went to college and taken any courses in law. Ain't none of us went and got our bar. Right? A lot of us ain't even made it out of elementary. You feel me? So there's no possible way that you can beat them mentally when the system is designed 5 steps ahead of you. So that's what I come here to tell my roundtable family, the people that need to hear this. You're not smarter than them, but it's never too late for you to educate yourself better than what you are right now, so you can have a better understanding on what to expect. That's where I come in at with these videos. Being that I'm in prison, I'm in the worst position that you could be in besides being in the ground, being in the casket with a life sentence, and been here all these years. The worst position that you can end up in, this can be your future. Do not allow where I'm at right now currently to be your future. This is what I try to help people miss, whether you young or old. And if by chance you do happen to make it in an environment like this, then I'm going to give you the appropriate information on true survivalism without having to go protective custody. And if by chance you do go protective custody, this is what they expect with that decision as well. The information will be available to all that need it, that want it. That's all we are here to push. Period. Damu Robbins, what's up, my brethren? Man, I send my love and respect to you as always. Glad you was able to make the live, bro. Salute to you, bro. J-Dub said, I was disappointed when I saw Chill doing an interview with a PC channel. Nothing good ever comes from giving them dudes a voice. Damu Robbins, he said, what's up, sis? Cuz 3X. Little sis Cuz 3X said, the truth hurts. It does, bro. It does. It really does. You feel me? And the truth will always be a threat to those that don't want to hear it, that want to keep pushing the false narratives. You know what I'm saying? 16 of Life said, look at the other guy who defected from a top position. His YouTube channel is extremely popular. Despite having a conviction for sex crimes, people just want to be entertained. Hey, I seen you say that in the video too, Chill. And really, I guess that's what it all boils down to, the entertainment factor, because we are in the entertainment field, right? And depending on, I guess, what your taste buds is what people is going to gravitate to, right? Now, the guy that you're talking about, right? Big following. Big following. Right? Now, being that they have those type of followings and a voice so big, so loud, so humongous, with all these faithful fans, watchers, and subscribers, it's crazy going up against a powerhouse. And I don't necessarily mean like competition, right? But when you, like myself, approach this game in a certain fashion, right? Playing above the table, giving nothing but truth, honesty. I'm living in it in real time, so it don't get no realer than this, right? When you're living in it in real time like me, it don't get no realer than this. That's the way that I look at it. And I also look at like, damn, being that I'm living it in real time, and this person has, had bad charges on their name, convicted of bad charges, went to a bad yard. They have all the attention, and people are entertained by that. That's what their taste buds have gotten used to. So a person like me that's going up against a powerhouse like that, right? When I feel the need to contribute what I can of goodness, of greatness, of a positive direction, with the narrative not being corrupted, it's like, damn, bro. That's gonna be a cold fight, a cold battle. However, I'm almost positive that the taste buds of people will eventually change, and they will gravitate towards the righteous. Cuz 3X said it's growth, bro. It absolutely is, sis. It absolutely is. J-Dub say, I know we're not in prison anymore, and Chill don't push the politics. But to me, It's not black and brown. It's us versus the PCs, all PCs. 16 to Life said the reality of prison life is everyone does not stay on the main line regardless or not whether it is frowned upon. Being a prison channel, I like to give people both perspectives of prison life. That's in I think that's in response to what you just said, J Dub, as far as him interviewing somebody that was on a protective custody yard, right? Um again, again, if a person has been through this, right, and you have since put it behind you, right? I don't expect everybody to live completely and solely up under prison rules. That's ridiculous to even think, right? To keep it real. However, to each his own, right? Everybody's perspective don't have to be the same or approach when it comes to this. However, right? Part of the problem, in my humble opinion, when it comes to these dudes developing these big voices and all that, is the fact that they are given platforms like PC Jumper and what's the other one, the Vlads and all that, right? They are given these the opportunities to go on these platforms and spread their rhetoric, right? Of false narratives, right? Which helps them position themselves better in this concrete field. I mean, content creators field, right? And instead of a person like myself, I'm not saying that I want to go on either one of those platforms. Never, right? But when you are doing everything right and above the table and not being embracive of those people, right? Doing everything right, it's crazy how you're the one that's being frowned upon for sticking to your guns on I am currently in prison, currently on a level 4 yard, right? There's no bending or budging when it comes to me dealing with any or being embracive to any of those people, right? I don't have to go and take shots at them consistently 24/7 because that's not the mission to go. And trust and believe, had these people not done what they done to me, I wouldn't be giving this shit no energy or time or effort. You feel me? But I mean, if they want to come the way that they've been coming, then guess what? Guess what? I'm gonna utilize that situation, bring it to this round table, to my round table family, and we're gonna do exactly what we're doing with it now. Chop it up, dice it up, pass it around the table, man. Straight up. Damu Robin said at 16 to life, ease up. Pam said it's always about black and brown. No lives could never matter until black lives matter. Respectfully, I'm on mute. That's right, sis. 16 to life said the guy whose channel I was on with PC because he refused to kill his cellie with a year or two left after doing 13 or 14 years. Whether his choice was right or wrong, it's up to each man's opinion. Facts. Facts, facts, facts. That's crazy. That's a cold one, though. Chill. Damn. So they tried to make him take his celly out, and he had a year left, and he refused to do it. So that's why he went S and Y. That's crazy. Now that's definitely a form of some cold, dirty politics right there. Straight up. And I've said that dirty politics don't exist. However, I was speaking from black perspective. Now, when it comes to other races and these other groups, hey, stuff like that does happen though, bro. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. That's bonkers. Colin, what's up, man? Salute to you. I'm glad you was able to make the live. I send my love and respect to you, as well as out to Australia, to all the extended family out to Australia, man. Nothing but love and respect for all y'all. Pam says, so he wanted him to stay instead of being free. She said, where is the family part at? Hey, I mean, if they was trying to make him do something like that, yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Now, I don't want to put nothing out there, right? But it has to be questioned if they are trying to make this man who had a year left on his time stab, kill somebody. Was it that they found out something about him that they was trying to make do this? I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to understand that one. Colin said, respect, bro. Always, man. Always, Colin, man. I send my love to y'all. You know that. You, Big Biff over at the Chaos Chronicles, my boy Wizard. You feel me? All y'all out there in Australia, man. It's all love, always. J Dub said, look, I'm a homie. I know fools get pistol whipped to the other side, but most of the time, their mouths and drug habits get them put up to bat. Absolutely, that's a fact. That is a fact, man. If that's probably um, um, when it comes to the Southsiders, right? The fastest way for one of them to get sent over there is having a drug habit that got exposed, or they did some type of violation that was caused because they not finna fight. And that's one thing, like with the Southsiders in prison. No, they not finna fight. No, absolutely not. It's all pistol play. I'm gonna say a good 99% of the time, all pistol play. So if one of them is getting removed off the yard, that's what's gonna happen to them. They're gonna get stabbed up. You feel me? And sent to the other side, and that can be from them getting in a drug debt, that may have gotten so out of control and they got exposed for that drug debt. And don't let it be to another race. It's specifically blacks. You feel me? Because they're gonna tell the black guy that this person all this money to, they're gonna get paid in blood. Period. And them people, I've told y'all the story about how we had to stab up one of ours because he got a Southsider that we was doing business with. He got focus put on him by his people by approaching this guy, and he didn't even know he playing some middleman shit. But yeah, he put this dude's life in jeopardy over crumbs, and this guy, he owed us way more money than this dude ever could see, right? So you're jeopardizing what everybody else got going on because you're chasing crumbs. You just made this man a marked man because you approached him, and his people seen that, right? So yeah, man, it's ugly. Prison is ugly, bro. I'm telling you, prison is ugly. J Dub said all these PCs on the internet have a clean up story about how they got done dirty, but then jump on the internet and do the same stuff that got them put up to bat in the joint. That's an absolute fact. That's an absolute fact, J Dub, and you know that I've been pointing that out. It's important that we point out the things that drive a man, right? The things that drive me, I point that out every day that we come to this round table. And the things that drive somebody that went to a PCR, that's gonna come out in everything in all their presentation. Period. 16 to life said blacks politics different, to be honest. There are things the Mexicans do not respect about our politics and there are things we don't respect about theirs. That's a fact. That's an absolute fact, bro. Real talk. Let me read that again from 16 to Life. Bro said blacks' politics are different. To be honest, there are things the Mexicans do not respect about our politics, and there are things we don't respect about theirs. That's an absolute fact. You feel me? Speaking honestly. Speaking honestly, that is an absolute fact. No reparations, no vote. Man, what's up, bro? Glad you was able to make the live. I send all my love and respect to you as always. Salute, salute. Glad you was able to make it, bro. Hey, man. And to speak on that, what 16 to Life just said, right? Um, yeah, that's something else that isn't highlighted out enough. Why people would be saying, because I've seen a lot of PCs jump out there and try to argue the 50-50 thing, right? About that was a Hispanic rule that they came up with, that they enforced up on the blacks to follow suit up under, you know what I'm saying? That blacks don't do this and do that, right? That's false. That is an absolute false statement. You feel me? Just like 16 of Life said, there's things about our politics that they do not absolute respect at all. And there's things about theirs that we don't respect. That's a fact. So how can it's contradictory, right? When we know that to be true, but you would have these people that go to those yards, right? That would say that a whole different race is forcing up on the blacks to follow suit behind something that they supposed to have started, and that's false. That is false. Pam said, and you see why I would choose PC gangster drugs. I can't relate respectfully. Hey man, hey, that's why I'm saying. That's why I tell people, right? The message is clear. The message is always going to be the message, right? We won't veer away from it. That's why I always tell y'all, you don't want to compromise your freedom to come and have to live up under certain rules and guidelines, or don't live up under certain rules and guidelines by going PC. But what we will always highlight out about those two different decisions that you would have to make by coming inside of a prison, right, is if you choose the main line, there's things that's expected of you, right, to live by. You don't steal, don't get in no debt of no kind, stay out of people's business, mind your business, attend to your business, right? And you know, what's hard about that? What's hard about that? I've been living under that same shit. That's grown man shit. Think about it. That's grown. Every man want respect. Don't no man want nobody to steal from them, right? It's as simple as ABC, but the most simplest things, right, isn't always, you know, understood by some people. And I again, I have to say that's chosen ignorance. That's chosen ignorance, especially if you're doing nothing to better yourself and your ways of thinking and how you get down in life. Chosen ignorance. 16 to Life said also, blacks and Southerners have very different ideologies about trying to get away after stabbing someone. I have always believed in trying to get away with anything illegal I've done. I've said that time and time again. I've told the story about when I was in New Folsom and me and a situation occurred that involved one of my homeboys. And I wasn't willing to just crash all out behind it, although I knew something had to be done and something very violent had to be done. I want to do it and get away. I'm not trying to do anything and get caught. Right? I've told y'all that story. I've also told y'all the story of another incident that took place with me of having to stab a guy. And my thought is, once it all go down, now the police see they done press their panic button. I'm running. I'm trying to get rid of this evidence and everything in which I did, which involved my bro over at the Game Bangers Life coach, my bro Coach Zoe. He did a video talking about that situation with me stabbing this guy and running to his cell. Thankfully, he was in the cell, giving him the knife, in which he got and flushed the bloody clothing, took that, swapped out, gave me some other shirts and all that. He did a show on it. Go over to the Game Bangers Life coach, to Coach Zoe. The Game Bangers Life coach, Coach Zoe. He did a video about that situation involving me stabbing a person and doing what I needed to do to get away. I don't do nothing to get caught. Right? And what 16 of Life just pointed out, because I seen, I can't remember if it was on your show, 16 of Life, or wherever, but that was brought up. And dudes was making a big issue about, actually being dumb enough to get caught for the, well, I ain't gonna say dumb, it's just some people don't care, right? So I'm not gonna say dumb. So excuse me for using that terminology. But to want to get caught, right? I never understood that myself, because again, I'm not trying to get caught at doing anything. But you have those that will not just get caught. I've told a story about how the Southsiders put some work in the day room, and the one guy refused to stop stabbing the other guy. He's stabbing him. He's sitting on top of this guy, just stabbing him over and over again. Now, they done shot the block gun several times. He wouldn't stop. Now, all this officer that's in the gun tower see is this guy sitting on top of another inmate, stabbing him repeatedly. So it's in their rules and guidelines. If they see a defenseless inmate being attacked and he's not putting up any fight back or any of that, the person that's attacking him is finna get shot with that Mini 14, in this situation, that happened. The guy that was attacking the other guy, stabbing him over and over again, this guy refused to stop stabbing him. And he got shot in his back with the Mini 14, and it blew his chest out. In the midst of him stabbing this guy, this happened to him. The whole entire day room is out there watching this. When this guy gets shot in his back and got his chest blew out, he took his very last breath. It was, and fell straight back, pow, and died right there from a gunshot wound with a Mini 14 assault rifle. Shot in the back, blew his chest out in front of the whole entire day room. Being in a closed-off environment, such as a penitentiary building, and hearing that gunshot from a Mini 14 rip through the air in that closed-off environment, and seeing a man get shot like that, taking his last breath because he didn't want to stop stabbing, because he wanted to get caught doing it. That's not normal. That's not normal. Ain't no way I'm ever trying to go out like that. Ever. I told y'all, I came close to getting shot like that. In High Desert State Prison, I told y'all that story. Us being in the middle of the yard, DP and one of the homies, me and one of my young homies, DP and another one of our homies, in the middle of the yard, and I'm sitting on top of this dude's chest, just beating his face and slamming his head all into the ground, and my young homie is standing up, kicking this dude, booting him so loud that the thumps from the kick sounded off all over the yard. You can hear it. Because when stuff like that is going on the penitentiary level 4 prison yard, it get quiet. All you hear is what y'all are right there engaging in. You might hear ooh or ah, I heard that in that situation. But it be quiet eerily. The police is screaming, get down, stop, get down, get down. And then next thing you hear, pah, that gunshot ripped through the sky. That's not normal. A lot of y'all ain't been through that. I have. So, as Bro 16 Live just pointed out about dudes getting caught, wanting to get caught, and us not trying to get caught like that, and it's a whole bunch that come with that. Hell, nah, I ain't never that dedicated to why I'm willing to lose my life behind going on a mission. Absolutely not. To each his own, though. Hey, that's a good one, Chill. Very good one, Brody. Pam said, very good live. Thank you, Pam. Thank you, sis. Damu Robin said, when you honorably discharge from the life, it's a form of liberation that fulfills your inquisitive mind to overstand certain aspects. Just for knowledge's sake, that is absolute truth. A honorable discharge. Honorable. Do you feel me? I know it ain't gonna be no better feeling, man, when you can honorably discharge from something that you pledged to as a kid and went through all the pitfalls of that life choice, only to become more knowledgeable about that life and wanting better and finally making it out honorably, where you didn't have to go against the code of ethics. You didn't have to violate nothing. You didn't have to be forced out to have a change of mind and heart and perspective. You didn't have to be forced out. Because when you're forced out, that love that you once had turns to complete bitterness, as we've seen, and hatred. And that's what your drive is driven from, hatred. Which means it's not genuine. You don't have a genuine heart. You don't have a genuine message. You don't have genuine concern for the people that you say that you got love and concern for. You don't, because all your motives is hate-based. It's driven from hate. Straight up. Messy if said blank is the main one. Made it okay for the PCs to speak or have a voice. Streets are trash. Every hood that lets these dudes walk around like they're 100. Hey man, I'm gonna say this, Messy, right? That's part of the problem, although he's not the biggest one, right? As we've described, there's way bigger dropouts and people that's not in good standings with their communities, right? That have way bigger platforms. Although that person that you did just mention definitely is part of the problem. And that's a fact. Because the way he got out, well, the you know, when this person was incarcerated, it was all praise this, all praise that. These wonderful, inspiring messages for the kids. Then the parole happened. This person get out. Now everything is back on the dead homies. Cause this, cause that. Calling people out for fades and all this bullshit. You don't get that no more. You don't get the homie benefits of being in that life because you was X'd out that life for whatever reason. So you don't get those benefits no more, bro. Not at all. Not a person that put a pause on this gangsterism when it got too tough on that main line, level 4 main line yard, when it got too tough. Instead of taking it whatever on the chin. I cannot in my right mind listen to these people tell all these magnificent Los Angeles County jail war stories of knocking this person out, knocking that person out, you know, doing the most despicable things, sticking food items in people's body parts and all this shit, right? All these knockouts, all these fights, only to go to a level 4 prison yard and ball it up instead of taking what you need to take as a real so-called real gang member that's respected by all the real so-called uh, killers, gangsters, right? No, man. No, bro, you got to leave that life alone. Let it go. I respect the motherfucker that chooses a side and stay on it. Stick to the script, stick to the program. Make your decision and make it final. There's no veering back and forth, and all this shit. You sending messages to the people that want to know the real. And that's why I say I come behind a lot of the bullshit that I see and debunk it. Especially when these people are making where I'm at a specific general target of their bullshit. And I'm still living in it, and I'm supposed to be content and cool with hearing this bullshit that I know is wrong and false? Never. Pam said, when do you get honorable discharge? When you 6 feet under? Nah. 16 Life said, J-Dub, great point. 16 of Life said, a reason that we may not respect different things about different people's politics is simply because we are from different cultures and some things we view differently. Facts. I've pointed that out too. 16, I pointed that out too, Brody. He said, 16 of Life said, I do feel blacks put more of their dirty laundry out on social media. So it is scrutinize more. It's never been my goal to make anyone look bad. That is absolute facts. You would never see no real active Southsiders or Northanians for that matter jump on the internet and air out any bullshit within their own communities or structures. You would never see that, ever. The only ones that's doing that type of shit is the dropouts. You feel me? And unfortunately, these people have bigger voices. The guys that I do see that are active, whether they're Southsiders or Northaniels, Crips, or Bloods, the ones that I do see that are active, right? Even they're getting more outshined by, and these dudes got decent platforms as well. You feel me? 16 of Life said, but things happen in all cars and races that would be frowned upon if aired out publicly. Yeah, facts. The truth. What's up, bro? He said, what's up, Creep? What's up, chat? Man, salute. Glad you was able to make live the truth. Send all my love and respect to you, Brody. It's always. Damu Robbins said that's what happened to that Waiupi in New Folsom Creek that stabbed old boy, got away, threw the knife, and chased the fool he was stabbing and got his head blew off. That is absolute facts. I remember when that happened, Damu. And that was a cold ass situation, bro. That was a cold ass situation. To y'all that's not familiar with what he's talking about in the chat, this is my bro, Damu Robbins, right? Been in multiple prisons with me. Right, the homie Chano from IE, you feel me? Neighborhood Drive Crib, you feel me? Has been since been released from prison, out living a productive life, you know, in his family and kids' life, work all the time, you know. But he's pointing out this situation that took place when we was in New Folsom, right? Of a white dude stabbing another one, and the dude wouldn't stop. He would not stop. And the police in the gun tower blew this dude's head off on the yard, on the track in front of everybody. Blew his head clear off. You feel me? It's not normal to see that type of stuff, bro. It's not normal to have to stab another man's flesh. I don't know if any of y'all ever experienced having to stab another human being, right? It's not normal. It's not normal, bro. But when you are through in a jungle such as prison, a level 4 general population mainline yard, especially back in these days, right? The objective and the goal is always to survive. Even if that means you handling your business and not getting, I didn't always get caught for everything that I did in prison when it came to violence. And it was always my goal or mission to try to beat whatever it was because I knew what I was doing was cases. They're gonna add time to me. I can catch another life sentence. Somebody can actually lose their life in the midst of me attacking them with a weapon. There's a lot that come with it. I'm not trying to get caught for anything. You feel me? But it's crazy to the dudes that feel like it's an honorable thing to keep going, until either they get shot or however it turned out for them. That's crazy. You feel me? Pam said, but when do you get honorable discharge? You get an honorable discharge when you reach a certain age. When you reach a certain age, you've gone through everything that you had to go through without without getting any F's on your report cards, right? And you come to a certain age of wanting to change and leave the game alone, right? And instead of turning against that, start figuring out different ways to educate the people that's coming up under you in a better way. That's going to keep them from wrecking, even if they are within that life, that gang culture. Figure out different ways, man. Becoming older and more knowledgeable in this gang life and this gang culture. It should mean something to everybody because now you're able to give back something legit that's going to help the next person. And you say you love your community and everybody that's coming up out of it, you want better for them. You want real survival skills taught to them. You don't want them to be one-track gang members thinking that it's cool to be done when it's not. J-Dub said, I respect you, Chill, and I know you didn't do an interview with a brother that was PC. Is that safe to say? Dalmu Robbins said, Pam, when you discover your individuality and chose self instead of group, and you ain't foul. Absolutely. Great way to put it, Dalmu. Great way to put it. Pam said, ladies, welcome. 16 to Life said, if we are honest, everything about prison is an inconvenience. Why inconvenience myself more if I can get away with it? Absolutely. Facts. Facts, facts, facts. Not Shia, Cheyenne. Salute, salute. Glad you was able to make the live. Welcome to the round table. This person said, did you hear about Vixen Maya's passing? I am not familiar with that person. Who is that? Big Al said, what's up, cuzzo? Big Al 190 East Coast in the building, man. Shout out to the 190s. You feel me? Shout out to all the East Coast homies, man. From First Street all the way to 190. All of them. Salute. Glad you was able to make the live, Brody. Much love, much respect. Pam said, trauma. 16 to Life said, honorable discharge would have been a great YouTube channel title. I had always thinking on work. That is absolutely a good one, though. Honorable discharge. Ah, man. Hey, chill. We might have to put something together around there, Brody. Make it happen. I'm there. Waza the Chaos. Oh, the Chaos. What's up, Waza? He said, have you ever thought of doing an interview with one of the brothers you are locked up with? I actually did a few interviews with a couple of the brothers I'm locked up with. Um, go to it's probably the first one of the first lives I did. Right, so you're gonna have to go all the way in the archives. Go to the beginning, right? I had a couple of my bros on who was incarcerated that I interviewed, right? I think the title was called "Are Mexican Women Better Than Black Women?" or something to that effect, right? That was the first one of the first lives I did when I started this channel, and I actually had a couple of my bros that was locked up on interviewing them in regards to that topic. Yep. Along with a few others that was incarcerated as well. Facts, facts, facts. Damu Robbins said, I did 2 decades on 4 yards, never leveled down, paroled with 124 points. Now I'm 100 daddy. That's right. And husband, bro. Damu Robbins said, and husband. Hey, proudly, say that proudly, bro. Stand up, chest, head up, chest out. You can say that proudly because you made it through. Look, he was in this. So was 16 to life. They was in environments like this with an iron bunk up on top of their head inside of a concrete prison cell. These is guys that was in prison with me, right? That thankfully got their freedom back. 16 to life and my boy Damu Robbins. I was in prison with both of these guys. Now they're free. I'm still here, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So I love seeing these guys out there back, you know, picking up the pieces to their life, man, and moving on as grown men in their life. There for their family. You feel me? I celebrate these guys all the time and anybody that was able to conquer this shit. You feel me? They helped me to have better understanding on I can actually do it out there. Seeing them do it. That's what uplifting and encouraging each other at this round table is all about. That's what we celebrate. And we try to keep those of y'all that's out there that may be faced with a decision of your life on if you're gonna actually go through whatever dumb shit that you're thinking about going through, jeopardizing your freedom or your life. We are here to give you a better perspective in your decision making, man, by giving you the truth about this shit. Point blank, period. I salute all my bros, man, that been through it and made it out. Straight up. Miss Golden said, you and 16 doing that interview this week, right? Miss Golden, Miss Golden, Miss Golden. Pam said, points, that's the first time hearing that. 16 of Life said, if a guy doesn't have a dishonorable case, a drug debt, or failure to act in a riot, etc., would not prevent an interview. Miss Golden said she been waiting on that interview forever. It's coming, Miss Golden. Relax. It's coming. 16 of Life again said, if a guy doesn't have a dishonorable case, a drug debt, or failure to act in a riot, etc., will not prevent an interview. 16 to Life said, dude is trying to clown with the comment about the guy passing. Oh, you talking about 69 minus 10 with a J at the end? Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. For real, for real. Y'all keep it lit. Y'all keep it lit. I love my co-host. Miss Golden. Hey, Miss Golden is crazy, man. She presses a hard line, but that's what she about. You feel me? We wouldn't be great if we didn't push each other. And I'm talking about just not just with me and her, but with the whole round table family, period. You feel me? All these great, wonderful minded people that's here that come to tap in, that engage, with a lot of great information and perspectives. And that's what we here for. We stay here for it. Oh, the guy who asked about Dixon Mays read is slow. Oh, okay, 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 okay. Who was that asked that? I did see who was that. Oh, okay. Not Shia Cheyenne. That's who asked that. Um, well, who? Not Shia Cheyenne or whatever your name is, right? If you are clowning a person that or attempting to clown somebody that has passed away, right? If you make fun of that, that's not cool. You feel me? That's not cool, man. I don't know who that person is. However, we're not here to clown anybody that has lost their life, or be disrespectful to anybody that people are attached to families, bro. That's something that you got to remember. So when you jump into this chat, be respectful, be mindful of that. You feel me? No reparations, no vote said. I would love to see you chill and DP all on one live. That would be greatness. That would absolutely be a cold lineup because, well, let me say this first and foremost. I would definitely be proud, to shit be, associated with either one of these guys. Whether it's Damian Porter, whether it's 16 to Life, these guys do the absolute greatest work. I know them both personally outside of this space, right? Stand up men with great minds, great perspectives. I appreciate the approach that each man takes to this content creating. I have a great appreciation for both of them. So it would definitely be an honor for me to, um, be on the panel with them. You feel me? Because they bring such greatness, to this content creating space, man. Inspire me. Shit, they've been doing it before me. So you got to have a great appreciation for people that's actually, doing everything correctly, and not here doing race-based content, shock value type content, and to disturb the peace, spreading false narratives. Like they're not doing none of that. You don't have to do none of that to achieve greatness. You don't have to do none of that to be great. You feel me? And I think we've done a great job here at the Swang Low podcast of proving that by not chasing all the stories that that YouTube would actually encourage you to chase. The hottest topics about all these different gang members from different sections that you're not from. I cannot do that. I choose not to do it. To each his own. I don't knock anybody else for like I said, having a different approach to things or having a different outlook or perspective on a lot of the stuff, right? But I felt like I had to put my work in coming into this YouTube space. I had to earn every second of time that I got on here with y'all. I had to earn every subscriber. You feel me? I had to earn everything by putting in the work, by trying to be as original as I possibly can in this space. You feel me? And not taking the easy route. And even when I chose to veer off and, you know what I'm saying? When I did call myself trying to do a couple of reaction videos to certain things, right? Um, I got my channel struck for it. And on top of that, the interest wasn't there from people. You feel me? In which I took, well, you have to do better work. You have to do better videos. You have to have better quality content. You feel me? So, you know, you have to take your pride and ego out of shit. And you have to develop tough skin. You feel me? The views and subscribers is not gonna always be there. You have to earn this shit. I felt like I've earned being able to be here. I think I've earned that by sticking to the script and not chasing all these stories that everybody else is. By being, as my sister Pam just pointed out, organic. I'm proud to say that I'm able to think up original content every time I come to this platform, but not just me, y'all too. Because when we come to this round table, y'all open up the door to a whole different, you know, level of a wealth of information and knowledge. Great-minded people. J-Dub said it used to be what's understood don't got to be explained. Not we got all these disgruntled employees speaking on everything. True facts. A lot of disgruntled employees. A lot of disgruntled ex-employees, right? That is driven by hatred. That's driven by having a broken heart because they got their club membership terminated. Now that they are no part, they're not part and respected in that club no more. Now the bitterness and everything that comes with get kicked out that club has turned these people completely against what they once stood strong for and rose in ranks in. Y'all have to question with like how much sense do that make? And if they was invited back in proudly, they would go. They would have went. And when I say that, I'm speaking specifically about 69 minus 10 with a J at the end, and those others that jump behind the camera with all that hatred and bitterness in their hearts and in their souls when the word PC is said, when the word 50-50 is brought up, you know, or anything in relation to any of that stuff. J-Dub said, yeah, disgruntled ex-employees. Thanks for pointing that out, OG, for sure. That's what we're here for, Brody. Yeah, they are very disgruntled ex-employees, bro. Very disgruntled. You feel me? Anytime you jump out there and make the fatal mistake that 69 minus 10 with a J at the end did by doing that race baiting video, disrespecting the whole community of people during a time of grief, something that he has no attachments to at all, right? But he did it specifically on purpose for views. But this is nothing new with this person because again, like I told y'all, he do a lot of gang documentary videos, on crimes, and he worked closely with law enforcement to gather different information about these videos, about these different cases, whether it's solved or unsolved. He do these different uh, videos helping to solve some of this stuff or trying to. Period. And when something is said about him, what he do? The power that he has been able to develop in this YouTube space, he used it for evil because his push and drive is driven by evil and hatred and bitterness and anger. You know what I'm saying? Which is why he had those people come into my chat and put all that hatred and bitterness in the chat to try to get the video flag, his attempt at getting the Swang Low podcast shut down. Straight up. But yeah, man, I've held y'all up way longer than I wanted to, man. I appreciate all of y'all, man, that has jumped in the chat though and engaged. And look, I want to say this before we get up out of here. We don't always have to agree on everything, right? Our perspectives and outlooks on everything, it ain't always got to match. You feel me? It ain't always got to match. However, I believe the common goal is the same. We all want to see the same. And who I'm talking about, I'm talking to my roundtable family. I'm not talking to nobody else out there, right? The common goal is being well informed appropriately, having the proper knowledge to help keep people out of bad positions. And if they end up in the bad position, they still need to know that knowledge of what's to come from that too. You come to prison, you choose to stay on the main line or go PC, you're going to have the appropriate knowledge from both sides. You feel me? You will not be misled. You will not be misinformed. You will not be misguided. Everything that they try to put on guys that's in the general population mainline level 4 yards. They say we mad, we anger, we bitter. We want to see the young dudes mess their life up. They already messed their life up. For one, they start gang banging. They want to carry pistols. They want to do this and do that under that gang culture, right? So we ain't messed up nothing. We are trying, those that really care for these dudes, the misinformed, we're just trying to give you the appropriate information on what to expect from your decision making. You haven't been making all the right decisions, apparently, if you are in prison, with no matter how much time you got, whether it's a year or whether it's 50 years. You place yourself in a bad position, wouldn't you want to know the appropriate information on whichever route you choose to go? And that's all we're here to deliver, point blank, period. Nothing more, nothing less. And we stand on it, period. But on that note, I'm finna go ahead and get up out of here, man. I appreciate all my roundtable family. Y'all are the absolute greatest. Much love, much respect to everybody that volunteered, whatever they volunteered inside the chat, man. Y'all are all great people with great minds. You feel me? I appreciate the interaction, the beautiful conversations that we always have, the knowledge, everything, man. I appreciate everybody. You feel me? But I want y'all to take care and stay safe out there, man. Hopefully this video encourages somebody, even if you consider yourself to be an op to me. And what I mean by op is a content creator or not. If you're in disagreement with me about whatever, right? Hopefully you take that anger and bitterness and decide to do something positive with it. Be great with power that you do have. Stop utilizing it for evil and destruction. You feel me? Point blank, period. Inspire others, man. On that note, I'm finna get up out of here. I love and appreciate all my roundtable family. Salute to all of y'all. I want to see y'all, in one piece the next time we come to this roundtable family, man. So that means y'all take care, stay safe out there. Let the people that's in your life know you love and appreciate them while you can, because tomorrow is promised to nobody. You feel me? J-Dub said, keep your head up on the swivel, OG. I send my love and respect to the next time. For sure, Brody. I appreciate you. KM Videos live stream. What's up, Brody? Glad you was able to make the live. He said, take it easy, man. Likewise, I appreciate you for tapping in, bro. For real. Salute. All love, all respect, bro. For real. On that note, I'm finna get up out of here, man. Let y'all get back to y'all's. To the next time we meet at this round table. Love and appreciate all y'all. Tribang.